Good morning. This is Judge Alyssa Perez presiding over the 210th District Court criminal docket for December 2nd, 2021. All matters being heard today are being heard in accordance with all emergency orders and directives regarding COVID-19. In addition to that, we are streaming all matters live via YouTube for public viewing. Good morning, everyone. Chuy, would you call our next case, please?
Yes, Judge. It's Alvarez on page 1.
Go ahead.
Cause number 2021-0D02640. State of Texas versus Joseph Angel Alvarez. Announcement to council, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Josh Abela for the state. State's ready. This case is handled by the homicide unit, but I'll happily cover.
Actually, Judge John Briggs for the state of Texas, and I'm here on this case.
Wonderful. We're set for a judges conference. We have a jury trial scheduled for May 6, 2022. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Well, we're still waiting for some forensic evidence, Judge.
We're early on. We had an arraignment just barely in November. Is that right? November 4th?
Right.
I think that sounds right, Judge. I didn't write down the dates on that. You know, the defendant got arrested and quickly had a 48-hour bond hearing over at the jail, and then very quickly requested an examining trial. And so the case was got presented to the grand jury, kind of an abbreviated, form of the case, since we just needed a PC finding from the grand jury. I still don't have the case presentation, the official case presentation from the police department yet. The bulk of their reports are done and are already accessible through the portal, because the portal pulls them straight off of the police computer. So all of the reports and things of that nature by the officers are already on there and available. I think what Mr. Anderson's waiting for, obviously, is all of the kind of the electronic data, the phone dumps and all of the data that accompany that. And some stuff's already been sent off for testing to DPS. And we're waiting, obviously, on lab results on that. But I won't even know what all of that electronic kind of media data is until early next week. The detective has promised me that I will have the case, the binder with all of those items early next week. So as soon as I get that, I'll upload all of those to the portal, and I'll let Mr. Anderson know when I've got the case and that we're working on that, so that he can be expecting that on the portal. And if it just doesn't work through the portal, if it's huge, electronic files or something like that, I'll get with Mr. Anderson. Maybe we put them on a disk or a zip drive or hard drive. We'll just have to see how big these data files are. So I hopefully will know a lot more next week once I actually get my hands on the physical case.
Mr. Anderson, I'm looking at, well, this is really for both of you. I'm looking at the court schedule with the jury trial in May. Our next setting is January 6th. I've got to think, well, I'm going to leave that schedule as is. I would like whoever, Mr. Briggs, if it's you or someone else covering coming into the new year on this case. On that January 6th date, I would like you all to have discussed what, if this is not a realistic timetable, what a realistic timetable with a proposed and agreed trial date is by that January 6th setting. Because the difficulty in scheduling trials is not going away for 2022. It's probably going to be worse. So to the extent you all can discuss that ahead of time and tell the court, maybe we can amend that timetable. Mr. Anderson, if that's something that you want to stick to, that's fine. But if you have some agreement and have an idea when we could actually set a good trial date so that I can make the appropriate requests for panels, assuming we're still in that COVID protocol, I'd like to do that rather than have a bunch of settings out there that really are not going to work. But if they do work for you, Mr. Anderson, I also need to know that on that.
Sure, Judge, I'll do so. Of course, there being so much forensic evidence and possibly expert witness testimony, it may require additional time, but I'm going to need to discuss that with my client to allow him to kind of drive the bus on that issue, Judge. But I will start evaluating that.
Sure. All right. Anything else at this time?
No, but just, I think this is going to be my case going forward. So I don't think this case is going to get turned over to the line prosecutors in the 210th. So I think it's going to stay with me. So
Okay, so see if you can look at a timetable if you think that's useful. If not, we'll see you all in 2022.
okay, thank you, Judge. Then
Thank
may I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank
Okay.
you, Mr. Anderson. Were you saying something? No? Okay. Y'all have a good day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Okay.
Judge. Bye-bye.
Go ahead, Shui. Next case.
Okay, Judge, next one, Rios on page 8,
Okay, go ahead.
cause number 2016-0D04953, cause number 2021-0D01591, and cause number 2021-0D01590. State of Texas versus Refugio Rios Jr. Announcement of council, please.
Josh Avila for the state, Your Honor. State ready?
And good morning, Your Honor. Denise Butterworth on behalf of Mr. Rios, and we are ready as well.
Morning. We're set for a probation status hearing today. And I see you have a bond hearing coming up, Ms. Butterworth. What were we doing, Mr. Rios? I think I have a report, but honestly, I have not seen if I received it last night.
So Judge, I'm not sure if Mr. Avila has any notes, but the last time we were logged on, I spoke to Renee Flores on this particular case, and he was not going to oppose a PR bond for my client on the new case.
Mhm.
The 2021 0D01591. So I filed a motion to try to see if we could resolve the bond issues. When I spoke to Mr. Flores, I believe that one of the complaining witnesses in the case was trying to, or I'm sorry, had passed away, and Mr. Flores was trying to get a death certificate out of Mexico for him. And then on the Revo, I think it's a $5,000 bond. So I don't know if we just want to wait till next week to have the bond hearing, or if you want to look at this without my client here, or we should just hold off till next week.
Yeah, let's do the bond hearing next week. Do you have anything, Mr. Avila?
In the meantime, Ms. Butterworth, I will talk to Renee about just flat out the agreement on the new case. And then I'll double check on the probation case, see what we can do there. I'll also follow up on the death certificate. Do you happen to know which one of the two is alleged to have passed away?
No, and Josh, I'll tell you, the discussion was one of the alleged complaining witness passed away and the other one was arrested.
Oh,
And so there were giant new concerns about proving the case. And I think Mr. Flores was hopeful that the case would just get dismissed or resolved, which is why I would like to see, while that's happening, if we can work on a bond.
okay. I'll
If
I do
that's
know that-
something, sorry, Avila, if that's something, then I know with respect to the probation case, like if we're really looking at, we have no new case, then the recommendation is BHRTC. That's a recommendation. I'll just throw that out there.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I know which one has the pending case, Denise, so I'm assuming the other complaining witness is the one who
default.
passed away, right?
Okay.
I'll touch base with Renee because those death certificates from Mexico, I'm not too sure how long those will take.
Okay. Okay. And then we'll just come back next week then.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you all. And that's all I have this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sorry about my phone.
Who's next, Judy?
Okay, Judge Sanchez on page 10,
Okay.
cause number 2020-0D02041, State of Texas versus Filimon Mitchell Sanchez. Announcement of council, please.
Josh Avila for the state, Your Honor. State ready?
Carl DeCos for Filemon Sanchez. Ready, Your Honor.
What did Mr. Sanchez get arrested or something? Why are we here?
I don't know.
I have no idea, Judge. I don't have him in the docket.
I have him on the docket, but we addressed
For
him
as a
on
jury trial.
Tuesday. Yeah, we addressed
my
him on
office-
Tuesday. Mhm.
Okay,
My office
Judge,
called and said I better get on, so here
but
I
you
am.
have one other case, Mr. DeCote. You have one other one.
Okay, okay.
Okay, Judge, page 10 as well, Valero.
Mhm. Okay, go ahead.
Cause number 2020-0D05272. Cause number 2020-0D04591. State of Texas versus Juan Valero. Announcement of council, please.
Josh Avila for the state, Your Honor. Stage ready.
Call the codes for Juan Valero. I think I'm ready.
The judges conference, your client has been in jail, at least per the docket, for 171 days. What's going on?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Valero is still in competency court, if I'm not mistaken.
Good, because I don't know what we're doing here on this.
It does, yeah, and this, I don't know why these are showing up. I don't see it being, oh yeah, no, it was transferred back on November 1st. Let me see.
No, but it got transferred to the 384th on November 24, I think, from the 210th to the 384th.
You want me to look into it, Judge?
Wow, okay, I don't see that second order, but I do see then this subsequent order. Can someone help me on this? Yeah, Josh, are you looking at it? Or Marissa, can you?
Yes, Judge,
Marissa, are you here?
I'm looking at it, and the order to transfer is in the 384th, and the system does show it as being in the 384th.
Mhm.
There is an examination date for December the 3rd for Dr. Dunham to examine him.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not seeing that 24th, November 24th. I'm not seeing that on Odyssey, but Marissa, do you see that? Ms. Nieto, are you there? Okay, I was just checking the other case to see if maybe it was in one case and not the other. 11:30 is the only date I see.
The 5272 does have a transfer order, but I don't see one for the other one.
So I see, the only thing I see on 5272 is an order of transfer from the 384 to the 210. And then we have an arraignment set for 11/9. And then there's a proposed order of November 30th, so a couple of days ago, but that's out of the 384th. And there's no.
You're missing a transfer order, Judge.
Yeah, it's not here, and I don't see it in either case.
I do see it, Judge. Do you want me to share screen so you can see it?
No, that's fine. If you, I'm just wondering why I don't. But so it's in the 384th. Then I'm assuming we don't have any settings here until we get it back.
Okay.
So,
I'll check with them, Judge.
all righty. Please follow up with them.
Cool. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Who's next, Shui?
Hey, Judge Torres on page 10.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Cause number 2020-0D04469. Cause number 2019-0D03148. State of Texas versus Jesus Alberto Torres. Announcement of council, please.
Josh Avila for the state, Your Honor. Stage ready.
Edward Hernandez for Mr. Jesus Alberto Torres. We're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Hernandez. We haven't seen you in a while. We're here. We have our final judges conference, special setting jury trial on the 14th, and also a backup on the February 4th.
Yes, Your Honor. I was speaking with Mr. Rene Flores yesterday. I think this case is resolving, Your Honor. I was set for trial tomorrow on the 120th, so I hadn't gone to see my client yet, but I'll see him over the weekend. But I think Mr. Flores are both pretty confident this case is going to resolve. And I'll speak to him over the weekend and probably request plea papers at the start of next week.
Mr. Hernandez, thank you for working on that. I know this is one that's kind of been long. This is what I'm going to do. I am going to put you all on a final hearing plea deadline at 3 p.m. on December 14th.
That'll be fine, Your Honor. Can we make, would it be possible for that to be well, I guess it doesn't matter, a plea hearing date. He's not going anywhere.
I am setting that, anticipating that I will have plea papers and that final hearing plea deadline will turn into a plea and we will actually do a plea then.
Okay,
And if
thank you, Your
not,
Honor.
I just want to accomplish it before we hit the holidays and we're not, I have other cases for those dates in January and February. So I want to, if you all are got it that close to worked out, let's work it out. And that way Mr. Flores can be taken care of.
Okay, that's fine, Your Honor. Thank you. Am
Good
I
luck on
excused,
your
Your Honor?
trial. I think so, if Chuy says so.
Oh, actually, the trial got canceled. That's why I must see my client this weekend.
Oh, okay.
That one settled too. Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Good job. Talk to you later.
Next.
Thank you. Who's next, Chuy?
Okay, Judge, of the cases that need to go before you and be on the record, that is it for now, Judge.